Alright guys, let's get this video started. This is going to be another video obviously on the Redcat Ascent. As you can see, no more to bed. It has been removed. So I just wanted to go over a really nice performing cheap setup that I have so far. And I mean, it's budget. This thing, so far, it's just, I love it. So capable, so fun. I haven't had to spend a ton of money on it. It's getting well loved. I'm scuffing up my pretty true wheels. So the things that we'll just dive into some free stuff here to beginning. So you can see I've done away with the bed. And there's plenty of other people doing stuff like this. I came up with a real simple, super simple way of doing this half cab on this truck. And then we'll get into a few other things. So, real simple. Of course, it's got the body pins because I don't really care. It's just a truck that's for rock stuff. Rock stuff. So, I don't care. It don't have to look beautiful. You know, I still like the way it looks. You got your body post, and we're going to go over that in a second. So, this just pops off. If it works with me there. So, I wanted it secured down pretty good so it wasn't beating around too much. Now it's not. There we go. Stuck on my battery. So, it still hinges up. You still slide it off. Slides off really easy. You know, most of your trucks you see that are set up like this are half cab trucks. That's the reason why I said it like that. So, we have now moved into our battery being mounted on our slider, on our chassis here. The one thing I spent money on, real quick, is I did have to buy the batteries. I didn't need them. With this setup, this is a 2200 milliamp battery here. And how I did it was, I didn't cut any of my stuff off. I don't personally see a reason to cut this off. I like the battery being farther forward because it moves the battery weight further forward. I just don't see the reasoning in cutting these off. I see a lot of guys cutting them. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't see a reason to cut them. Because you can utilize all your factory Redcat stuff. You don't have to spend any money. You don't have to go crazy customizing stuff if you're going with a half cab option. This is super duper easy. So we'll get the battery up out of it here, and I'll go over the battery with you here real quick. I utilized the factory Redcat battery strap, one of them, from our battery holder here that I have removed. 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top. It comes off. I just trimmed down one of the battery straps. It was way too long. I didn't like it all looking stupid, so I trimmed it so it was even. These are the Z budget. These are 3S, 2200 milliamp, 50C burst. I got crap tons of runtime off this the other day and still never hit my cutoff, my LiPo cutoff. And I got my LiPo cutoff shut off set at medium. And I ran it pretty good with this. You get 2 of these. I will put a link where I bought them from in this video. It'll be in the video description for everybody if you want to get these. You can send the seller an offer. I ended up getting both of these shipped to me for exactly $30. Now, I don't know what the seller, it was on eBay. I will link to the same guy that I bought them from because that's what I do. No, don't worry. I don't get any kickbacks from anything. That's not how my channel works. What I did was the cheap heavy-duty Velcro. We'll make sure we're still recording here. The cheap heavy-duty Velcro from Walmart. I just slapped one on each one of my LiPo packs here. You know, a good chunk of it to hold it. The other hunk down here on my slider. And that alone right there was almost enough to hold the battery. I just went ahead and threw the strap around it to add a little extra security to it. So the 2200 milliamps, you know, I mean, comp guys I know probably go super duper small. You know, I'm going to do some comp stuff with this truck, you know, some simple stuff. But I still wanted some run time to take it out and enjoy it and run it. So 2 of these, that's 4,400, milliamp. That's going to give you plenty of run time out running this thing if you go out somewhere, especially for $30. And they're a 50C burst battery, so in a 3S, it's got plenty of power. So was real super simple with that. Like I said, that's all I had to do. Battery strap, the Velcro here on the slider, other part of the Velcro on your battery. Peel it, stick it, slap it. You want to clean it with alcohol first. That's a given and obvious. And then, like I said, I just trimmed my battery strap down to fit that battery pack perfect. And obviously, if it fits that battery pack, if I want to run a smaller pack, if I get serious about things, I can run a smaller battery. So let's move on to how I did just a half cab. I took the rear mounts from back here. I just removed them. They screw. You have the 2 screws. I utilized every factory thing in this. Take my little foam pad off here. I've already lost one of them. Where'd that go? Oh, because it does add cushioning. We'll find it. I think it probably fell down. There we go. There's the other one. I don't want to lose those. Okay, back to it. So I took my battery post. I took just like this. This is a body reamer. You'll need I can't remember what size drill bit. Just bear with me one second. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So it was a 1/4 drill bit I started off with. So you have your, where Redcat did set it up to where you can screw the body directly into this with, I don't even know where I put them here. You can utilize the factory mounts they give you. You can. I didn't like that. I didn't want, who wants to be taking screws out if you're doing a truck like this? Because it's not really about scale stuff or anything, and it's just a light Lexan cab. You don't really got to screw it down. So anyways, I took the body post off the back. Simple, easy peasy. Drill. I dropped my stuff, my shock out of the way. I didn't even have to disconnect anything. Came straight in here with my drill bit. Drilled this hole out to the 1/4. Your body post is a little bigger. I don't have a piece of it here, so it's a tad bit bigger. I should have kept the hunk pieces out of it. I didn't. And then I took my reamer, just Lexan body reamer for your body post holes and whatnot, and I just kind of worked them in there here, come in from the back side here, worked them in there until I got it to where the body post would slide in. You don't want to go 2 foot plastic and be too rough with it. You got to go easy. Be gentle. So I just reamed those out. As I always say, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You have mounts there. So the posts are long. So you'll have to take your body post, you'll slide them in. You want your mount out here. They give you extra body posts too. You can use the extra body post because they give you extra body posts if you want to mount a different body up here. I don't want to mount a different body. I like that half cab. It's perfect. It's fine. I don't got to buy anything else. So I slid these up in here. The factory little screws that came in back here, you take those out. I reutilize those. I slid the body post in. I took my small drill bit. It's just super small. When you guys take your screw out, just match your screw up with your drill bit. And I just ever so slightly started drilling the mount here to just get it started. And then drilled all the way down through your actual body post. Drill it straight through. Watch what you're doing. Did that on both sides. Tighten your factory screws back down in there. Boom. You have it. You can dress it up and make it pretty if you want. I'll probably clean it up. I'll probably clean it up and make it look a little prettier. So that's what we got there. And then you have a simple body pin removal back here. Don't have to worry about your body pins in the front because you got that slip on and off. Personally, myself, I just thought that was the easiest way. It took me a few minutes to do it. It literally didn't take hardly any time at all. Next thing that needs addressed on this truck, I'm going to go ahead and start working on getting, there's a guy, he has a YouTube channel. He is also big on the Redcat group. Doc Rose is his name. I had shared how to trim these to get more steering. Because they got a bump stop here. He has a little thing on the Facebook group on Redcat to where I think he bent this link. I'm not sure. I think he kind of bent the link out to go around his pumpkin cover. And then he did like I was showing you guys, trimming the knuckles on each side. And then you can get like super stupid even. I mean, it lops completely over. My whole thing is with that, I'd be afraid it would break something. I mean, maybe not, especially if you're upgrading to aluminum. I mean, I don't know. You think it would start binding at a certain point because he's got the wheels, and I mean, they're really. I mean, he's into his links. He has so much steering. His tires, like, I mean, it's literally like over in here, guys. It's like, it's insane. I don't. This truck really works really well with the 20% overdrive. I don't know if I mean, if you're comping, I guess you want everything you can get if you're a comp guy. I don't know. But something else, and like I said, I didn't come up with that, but I think he just bent this link out because I said in my last video, I'm pretty sure he just bent that link out. That wasn't my idea. I did come up with trimming the stops off so it would trim further. He just went a step further, just bending the factory link. I'm pretty sure is what he has done, and then just that gave him all the steering in the world that you could possibly ever need for anything. So there's a little tip for you guys there again. The wire management, I kind of came up with a little. You can go to Walmart and get these or anywhere. These are like electrical loom pieces here. I didn't want my wiring for my battery wire was still kind of long, but I didn't want to shorten it up. So I just added one here to the transmission case and one here to the transmission case and screwed them back down because they're really super thin. And it holds my wiring perfect because my battery plugs in right here, and then I have literally nothing that's going to get tangled or in the way. I mounted the battery. I chose this side of the skid over here and not this side because you got the motor weight biased here. So I figured it would be better if I put the battery here. It would probably counteract the weight of your motor here with having the battery on this side. You could wire these. I think they're called in a series with both of them packs I showed you. You could do one here if you wanted. And then you would have a 40, I can't remember the series, parallel. I don't know. I'd have to look that back up again. And then you'd have, a 4400 milliamp setup. I don't think you need that. Just pop the body off in a few seconds to change the battery. I can't see, and then that's just added weight you have here too. I mean, it is down low in the middle there, so it probably wouldn't affect it that much. Let me check, make sure we're still recording. Yes, sir. So, still running stock servo. I have bumped this up. My buddy caught me. I slipped up. I was running. Give me a second. I was running the 1080 G2 with the 550 can Holmes hobby motor. I think 12 turn, 10 turn. I don't know. It was something. It was a Holmes hobby. I was running this new one I had in here. I had this set up in here. And it worked great. It did. It worked fantastic. But the SE, I seen a comment the other day, guys. The LS. The LS of brushless crawler motors. He is so right. Everybody and their brother. FE. It's got to be an FE. I'm just kidding. It is a great setup. So, anywho, back to it, like Pruitt used to do it. I'm not changing it. I like it. I've heard some guys say some stuff about the gearing. Thinking it was like too low of a gearing. I don't know. It's an 11-tooth pinion comes stock. I'm pretty sure is on it. Don't quote me. Back to what I was saying with the G2. I get sidetracked easy. The G2 I had in here, it'll do 8.4 volts. That is one thing that I see might be, I mean, if you're a big power guy with electronics, this will only do a 7.4. So I am running it on 7.4 volts now, to my servo and everything. But, yeah, that is one advantage the G2 have. If you want to run an 8.4, you can run an 8.4 because that servo will do 8.4. It's not really that big of a deal to me. But if you're serious about stuff, it's probably a big deal to you. So I'm just saying, to me, it's not that big of a deal. So anyhow, that's that's our budget setup. So if you bought this truck and you paid $289.99 for it, you bought an $80 motor. I would highly recommend swapping out the motor, swapping out the ESC at least, because it's just not good. Swapping in this 1800 kV, so that's $80. You know, a good transmitter. The transmitter that comes with it's way usable. It's actually a nice transmitter. So you really wouldn't even have to do that. So swap in the whatever setup better system motor you want in it, whatever 2-in-1. I haven't had any dry shaft problems. I see guys like talking. There's a little bit of movement here in the back. I can't see. I can't see that giving you. Maybe it might give you. There's just a little bit here, you know, of the rear end that it's just very little. I see guys are making like track bars and stuff. I don't know. I don't think that's really just for that. Because this thing performs so great how it is. I just can't see that being a major problem. But there is a guy, that same guy, Doc Rose. He has made a track bar. But I mean, there's very little movement, and I have beat the poo-poo and $5 out of this truck, and it gave me $4.95 change back. It has been fantastic. Can't say enough about it. And no, I'm not getting paid by Redcat. I don't get paid by anybody except for where I work. So I'm not getting paid to tell anybody anything. I see guys, the shocks. There was a guy, and it wasn't my idea, it was on the Facebook group again. He switched out, I believe it was to the Traxxas shock O-rings and his shocks. I personally haven't seen the shocks being that big of a deal to me. I think once you use them too, the shocks seem to free up a lot more. Once again, if it's a new truck out of the box, things need to wear. Leaf spring trucks the same way. You once things start wearing, they will wear. I have seen guys saying stuff about like some shock O-rings being installed wrong from the factory and whatnot. I haven't had that problem. I took mine apart, checked them out. I have now swapped over to 35 weight shock oil all the way around. I did do that. And all I did was take them apart, drain the oil out of them, and I put fresh Losi 35 weight shock oil in all four corners. They're butter. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see a reason to change it around. I tried my shocks in the positions clear up here. It gave it that saggy ass look. Like you can only afford a half lifted truck. I don't mean to offend guys that are into that. Not for me. It looks like you can't afford the rest of your lift kit. It's set like this. I know maybe I don't know. I don't do comps. I couldn't stand to look at it. My OCD, I was just like I was pooping myself. So I did find that they did seem to work a little better just moving them in one. I mean, it literally did seem like it did help it a little bit just moving this in one. I want to go a little wider on my wheels. I've said that before. I have the cheap, I put links in the last video, for the Benedict Harry brass. These are Gen 8 outer counterweight portal covers. That's the only brass I personally hardcore solemnly believe you need on this truck. I don't see why you need any more brass than that. It got just a teensy little bit nose heavy on me with this setup going up like stupid steep stuff. So maybe like brass portal or brass diff cover back here. I don't know what the weight of his are. The Benedict Harry guy on Amazon. Maybe if you wanted that, but just it climbs so great. And side hill's perfect with this setup. I still want to get the soft mini T springs for the front. I am going to give that a try. I'm not that displeased with the suspension. Just not. So something here I want to address, though, that the same guy, Doc Rose, dude's got some cool stuff. I found this out right after I got the truck, and it was something that I was worried about. I have came to the conclusion, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think a lot of people try to reinvent the wheel too much. Sometimes something is just good, and you don't really got to do a lot. But I did notice it out of the box, so I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to flip this thing up. Okie dokie. So let me bring you in close. The spur, your spur, right here where my finger's at, that spur, the spur gear, that gear. I noticed, and this was right out of the box, it has a little bit, camera, I don't know if I can pick it up. Can the camera pick it up? It's hardly anything. It's got a little bit of a, movement to it. What do you need to do? Is it picking it up? Yeah, I may zoom in. I don't even know if it's bad enough for the camera to pick up, but I've seen some guys complaining about it. It has that little bit of, there it is. I think the camera's picking it up there. It's got that little bit of teeny weeny of, truck to move. See it? It's got ever so slightly worth of play in it, guys. I'm going to back the camera back up here. Ooh. Okay. So, I don't know how many miles I have on this truck. Just stupid amounts of miles. I mean, I have been really testing it. That has not been a problem. I think he had a good point about something about the bearing, and maybe I can get it to do it here. See it moving just a hair bit. See the hair movement. I mean, it's easier for not me to grab the spur gear and do it from back here. It's right here because your spur gear attaches to your draw shaft, attaches to the spur gear shaft. See it moving? See it? Oh, there it is. There it is. See that little bit of play. I have like I don't know how many miles on this truck now. I don't even know what you'd count those as scale miles. Insane amount of runtime, beating, thumping, thrashing. This has not been a problem. It has not been a problem. No problems with it. It's got a little bit. I think you could go in here though and pull this assembly out, and you could get some small shims. I agree with him. I think they should have put. I really think this piece right here should be CNC aluminum. I do, but it's a budget truck. We're not talking about. We're not talking about a. What can I compare it to? I would say like my Vanquish Falcon RTR that I just got, but that truck has a plastic motor mount. This has at least got a steel motor mount plate. The motor mount plate in that Vanquish is plastic. So at least they gave us a steel mount here. And this is a Redcat, guys. So I think they could have put a heavier duty bearing in here to get on with it. So I think that, I don't know if that would have helped this little bit of play, but I think you could come in here and you could probably shim this. I know there's a way of shimming it. I mean, for me, is it worth it? Maybe. For me, no. I don't think it's worth it. Because it hasn't been a problem, and this truck performed great that way. So the only major problem I've came into where you see those little spacers right there, and that was because of this front shaft, and I still haven't hardly seen anybody addressing that. And I don't care what anybody says, these two halves, this thing would not move in here, not even a little bit. It was bound tight, and you could watch the transfer case. That problem right there, that fixed that. Maybe I got the only Ascent with that problem. But I have not seen that anywhere else. One thing from my channel that has not been ripped off. But anyways, that's what we share this stuff for. So anyways, I'm going to work on doing away with this stupid thing. I think I've got some aluminum, and it'll make a little more clearance. See, my finger with my drive shaft here, and you articulate everything. I don't like how close that is. I'm going to be doing something different here with the chassis braces. Maybe Redcat will come up with something. I don't know. I think they are working on some upgrades. I don't think the truck really needs that many upgrades. It needs steel gears. I mean, the plastics held up great, but I would still feel better if I had steel gears. I would feel so much better if I had steel gears in there, just because. I mean, I've messed up steel axial gears before. I have literally stripped 4 or 5 axial transmissions with steel gears in them. So, I mean, these are plastic and they've held up good. But I would still like to have steel gears in there. And I think they are giving us steel gears with that, from my understanding. There's a closer look at my body mount setup here, you know. But it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And that's what I like for this kind of truck. So everything else, she's dirty. I haven't cleaned it up yet because I've been running it really hard. It's a pretty well balanced truck. I mean, for what it is, you can see the bottom of this thing. I've been using it. Plastic drive shafts held up fine. Links have held up fine. Yeah, I haven't messed up any of that stuff. So let me grab a hold of this thing. All right. Yeah, and suspension's great in it. I don't have a problem. A little more articulation, obviously. Probably would be a little bit better. I've seen some videos some guys have done. But for me, so far it's been okay. I'm going to try to get to the rock quarry. I've got permission to be there now. I got ran off a while back. But this is the bigger rock quarry. This is where they dump the big stuff up. So hopefully the brush and stuff's dying off now. It's getting cold outside, and we've had some pretty shitty weather here. Pardon my language. Oh, one thing else I did do, I did away with the rear bumper. The rear bumper's gone. Just left this in here for my chassis. That's all I need. I think that's it, guys. I think that's, so far everything else has been good. No abnormal play in the links. I see some guys talking about, let me flip it over here. The links, how Redcat, I explained that in one video. All you gotta do is squeeze these together. Bam. You got your high clearance links turned. My front links are barely digging in on anything at all. I do want to get some kind of high clearance links, and I know there's a bunch of stuff I've watched. Some guys tell you what you need for high clearance links on for the back. So far, they haven't hung me up on anything. They've slid over most of everything, so she is getting well used. You can look in here and see it needs clean. It's dirty. She's dirty girl. So that's what we got, guys. Got really, 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 really nice weight biases here. Probably sit a little bit lower would be, you know, a little better. Let me get the camera set up back up here. Okay, so what I was saying is a little bit lower would be, in my opinion, a little bit better. I am going to get the mini T springs for the front shocks and try that. I'm happy with the weight where it's at. I would like to have the Trill axle housings, and here's the whole thing. These plastic ones have held up with really bad crashes, even with the heavy brass counterweights on it. But eventually I'm going to snap one of these. It's a given. It's going to break. Especially after it keeps taking stress hits over and over. So, I really, 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 really would like... But my thing is, I'm afraid it'll screw my weight up that I have set up right now. So I'm not sure. I am considering getting the Trill housings for this, front and back. And then probably the aluminum Trill inner portal here. And probably go ahead and do the rear ones too. So that way it's all aluminum. But the problem is you run into that too, is it's nice to have a breaking point. So if I did all that and I really wrecked it, would it just bend the aluminum, or would it bend the chassis, or it'd send the force somewhere else? Because that's how it works with anything RC. So I'm on the fence about all that as well too. I wish they just made these like the Gen 8 removable. That way you could just buy these in like brass. Who cares if you break this center housing, because it's going to be cheap to replace. You could buy a couple and just take them with you. if it was that big of a deal. I think the Gen 8, it sucks. These do fit from the Gen 8. These are the SSD aluminum link mounts. I was going to run these, and then I was going to grind them down to give me more clearance down here, or flip them. There's a tip where you can flip these up and remove your links up, and then the mounts won't dig into the rocks and whatnot. They won't work because of the pan hard bar mount is different on the Ascent and the Gen 9. So that won't work. Gonna have to get the housings because this does not unscrew from the housing. So you're gonna have to buy the Trill housing to get an aluminum 3-link mount right here for that. So that won't work. But these are going on my daughter's Gen 8 either which way because I've sold my Gen 8. So that's all the stuff that goes on my Gen 8. I've removed it. But anyways, guys, that's it for the Ascent so far. Everything is still good. Everything's good and tight. No complaints yet, guys. These Hyrax tires perform real good like they always do on about everything. They're Hyrax. I don't want to get this video any longer. I've bored everybody enough, and they've already turned it off 10 minutes ago because that's how it goes. But anyways, I just wanted to share that stuff with you, and I'll put the link in there for the batteries. Obviously, you can go get the 1800 kV wherever you want. I buy my stuff. I'm not promoting. I guess I am promoting them. I don't get anything from them. I buy most of all my stuff from RPP Hobby. I would not, like my buddy says, and I'm stealing it from him, Jose Canseco. You can check his YouTube channel. I would not buy that stuff from Amazon. I just wouldn't. I think Hobbywing has issues warranting stuff from out-of-party stuff, so I would recommend buying your electronics and stuff from like A-Main, RPP. You're not really going to get it any cheaper buying it on Amazon anyhow. I don't think. But I always just get my stuff from RPP. So, yeah. Perfectly happy with everything so far. This 1800 kV is holding up fine. I haven't had any power switch problems. I haven't had any power switch problems. It's held up great. Hasn't let any smoke out of it or nothing. Legend has it I have heard some people having some power switch issues, letting some smoke out. Not mine. It's been fine so far. But it's under warranty because it came from RPP, if it does, so, or Hobbywing, and I had the receipt. So, anyhow, with that being said, remember RC Dungeon? This is going to be my new slogan because my stuff keeps getting stolen. Family first, RC second, and as always, peace.